Every time I go to a bowling alley or a movie theater or some place where I'm going for a particular experience, it always shocks me that they actually serve food there. And so it had me thinking, what are some of the craziest places that exist that actually serve food that probably shouldn't? Well, lucky for you, today I found a bunch of interesting places, ranging from a literal funeral home that has a cafe that you can eat at, all the way to the New York City Subway that within it has an actual 5-star restaurant. All places you would not expect to serve food, so let's get right into it. Grab your popcorn and let's do this. Behind me is one of the largest funeral homes in New Jersey, and they actually have food that they serve here in a cafe, and then they also have an entire restaurant on this side called the Wisteria, in which you can go in and eat completely separate from the funeral service. So we're gonna try the food right now. Really beautiful, this place. Massive. Nice to meet you, Jerry.
Hi.
How are you? This place is so big. So there's like 3 different servicing rooms, and then down there is where you have the cafeteria, the cafe, the dining room, and then over here is where you have like this beautiful entryway. You can just sit, play piano, hang out. This is the dining room, so this is where people host events, or after you have the funeral service, people will come into here and then ultimately eat. So they have their entire menu. It's $35 per person, which is kind of cool. And they make the food on site. So there's a massive kitchen back there with an executive chef and servers that come with it that are just part of this funeral home. So over here, you'll see some different dishes that they have. Don't want to open it up, but there's food. So there's fried calamari, they have clams oreganata, eggplant rollatini, a bunch of different dishes, I think mainly Italian dishes. You can get this food after you watch your loved one pass away and do the funeral service, and then you eat inside of here. So it's the only funeral home in New Jersey that has this. Very cool. Even have some additional snacks here. We got Oreos, fruit snacks, Rice Krispie treats, waters, apple juice, fully stocked up. Then you have the cafe back there where the Atrium Cafe, you can see all the different drinks they have. And then we will be having sandwiches for lunch. We'll be sitting in this area. So she was saying this is the only funeral home with a cafe or any sort of food attached to it.
That is completely set up to run from serving food all the way through to a restaurant where it's cooked and served here.
So we have our cappuccino here. Got a little biscotti on the side. Let's go ahead and try this. Bring it to the table.
Sandwich.
Ooh, sandwich here. I feel like I'm in Italy or something right now.
Yeah, right?
All right, let's try these sandwiches. Oh, cheers. I already took a bite. Well, it's a good sandwich. It is a great sandwich. So I feel like I'm in a cafe in Europe right now. Beautiful natural light. We have a barista. We have sandwiches. We have a cappuccino. Very enjoyable. Super chill. Like I thought my vibes were going to be really negative coming to a funeral home, but I feel great. Even though I'm surrounded by urns and like a bunch of different, I guess, death objects, but a really interesting spot. Oh, so the biscotti actually has some chocolate on the bottom. This is all made in-house. All right, let me give this cappuccino a sip. I don't drink coffee, but solid cappuccino. I'm very pleased with my experience here. I would just drop in and get lunch here. Really good vibes, like I said, kind of like a cafe. So I'm gonna give this like an 8.5 out of 10, maybe even a 9 out of 10. I think it would actually be worse if it wasn't in a funeral home. That kind of adds to the ambiance. So I'm loving this, really cool spot. Glad they serve food, only one in New Jersey. So we finally arrived to the largest gas station in the world. This is Buc-ee's. It's 75,000 square feet. And the second largest gas station is another Buc-ee's. It's like a couple hours away. So this is by far the biggest gas station. There's 120 gas pumps. There's like 30 different pillars of pumps. This place is absolutely packed. There's not much going on in this town, so I think this is the big attraction, but we're gonna head in, hopefully get some brisket sandwiches, some sweets, and I heard there's things like merch and like a whole bunch of other stuff, so let's go in. All right, guys, we had to pull up in style, so of course I had to pull out the limousine. Good joke, maybe a bad joke. All right, so at this Buc-ee's, you can actually see how much everybody who works here gets paid. So as you can see, a cashier is making $18. And then at the very top, if you're a general manager for one of these Buc-ee's, you're making $225,000. All right, so we're heading inside now. It looks like an actual Walmart in here. So this is a gas station. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, we're trying the Bohemian garlic beef jerky. This is apparently their most popular beef jerky here. Oh, good. Very garlicky. So this Buc-ee's has a literal department of clothes. I thought it was just merch at first, but there's probably thousands of different clothing items ranging from like little kids all the way to swimwear. And it goes on and on. This is actually the crazy, I don't know how this is qualified as a gas station. It looks more like a Walmart. Just like this size of this is crazy to see. So this place is huge. As you can see, it looks like Disney World for gas stations. It's like a massive Walmart size. I'm gonna get a little souvenir here. This is their mascot. I think his name's Bucky, I guess, Bucky the Beaver. But yeah, there is a lot here. They are not exaggerating when they say 75,000 square feet, 120 gas pumps, an entire merch section plus more. It's like a world market. They have jerky, they have food, they have clothes, they have seemingly other stuff too that we're gonna get into, but this is a gas station, keep in mind, which is crazy. All right, the actual mascot's here, so we're gonna take a picture. Feels like I'm meeting Mickey Mouse at Disney. Hey, Bucky. We're gonna look. Oh yeah, can you hold yourself? Nice, thank you. They say don't meet your idols, but I got a sticker for doing so. Thank you very much. Fudge acquired. Now I'm going to get a smoked brisket sandwich. There she is. All right, let's test this out. Some Texas style Buc-ee's signature item. That was a good sandwich. So here's the fudge I got. It's Rocky Road. Some marshmallows, walnuts, chocolate. That was good. Gas station fudge, as far as gas station fudge goes, it might be the best in the world. All right, so we actually are getting gas at Buc-ee's, which is the world's largest gas station. So 120 pumps. This thing is massive. I don't know if you're able to see it, but all the way down there are pillars stretching to the very back that you can't see, but all the way back there, it extends down. That's what prices look like. And there's not much around it. So you'll notice it's the Buc-ee's sign and then just flat land. So Luling, Texas, this is like the main attraction. All right, so we're outside IKEA right now. So they actually have a sign outside of their store that says, fulfill your meatball cravings as we share ideas to store your leftovers. So I'm gonna be trying their meatballs and seeing if that's true. Let's go inside. So as you can see, this is their store hours, which is 11 to 7:30, but Monday to Friday and Saturday at these times, they have their Swedish restaurant inside of a furniture store. So we're gonna try this right now. I've never been inside of IKEA either, so this should be fun. Look how many shopping carts are there. That must be like 1,000 shopping carts. So right now we're in the marketplace. I guess this is where you could like do further shopping. So it's not just furniture, it's actual items that you can put into a cart. I think we're done with the food part of it though, so I think it's time to go. This place is so big. You can get lost in an IKEA. This is my first time in one. I did not realize how big it was. There's like 5 floors. You have to follow some sort of maze in order to get around it, and then it ultimately leads you to the food. Really cool place. $2,500 sofa. Let's get some food. All right, so we arrived at the IKEA cafe. Before we go in, I looked up the most popular dishes to get, and it looks like Swedish meatballs and then chocolate cake for dessert. Let's eat it. All right, so first off is take a tray. It's all IKEA labeled as well. Okay, so I think this is all IKEA branded. So we have Langler, which is a blend of fruit juice, fruit, and vegetable purees. I think I'm going to get a green juice. It's like I'm in a cafeteria. Oh, so we have a bunch of different desserts here. We have cheesecake, chocolate cake, cream cakes, rainbow cake. They have everything, and I think it's all made here at IKEA. I'm gonna skip the dessert for now because I want to try the meatballs and some other dishes, but they have a lot. There's no shortage. Hi, how are you? What do you recommend? Swedish meatballs? I heard we're good.
Swedish meatballs are pretty popular, but the cod is popular too.
Can I do then meatballs and cod?
Meatballs and cod?
Yep, that sounds good. All right, so in front of me is the entire IKEA meal. It was around $16, so pretty good value, I guess, for an entire meal with the juice as well. So everything you see here is made on site by IKEA. We got to meet Stacy and some of the people who create the food. Super cool. So I went ahead and got Swedish meatballs, their breaded cod, rice, and then mashed potatoes. And then there's this jelly on the side in which you can ultimately dip your meatballs into. They even have a little Swedish flag in here. Very cute. Okay, and it attaches the first meatball, which is in gravy. So I'm excited to try these. This is what everyone says the rave is. Furniture store meatballs, here we go. Honestly, not bad. I'm not really a big fan of Northern European food, but Swedish have some good meatballs. I'm gonna dip it in the jelly now to see what this is about. Kinda looks like cranberry sauce, like what you eat on Thanksgiving. Oh, it is cranberry sauce. Okay, let's try the cod now. They said the cod was one of the most popular dishes after the Swedish meatballs. Let's see if that's for good reason. That's good cod. Wow, try out this rice, peppers. Okay, what you'd expect. And then they're mashed potatoes. All right, I would say it got progressively worse. The meatballs were great, the cod was great, but then the side dishes, it is what it is, I guess. But I'm gonna try the juice now, the Langler juice. This is interesting because it's kind of hard to like blend juice and package it on site. And they do it with 3 different types of juices. I got the green juice, of course, wanna stay a little bit healthy. Wow, it tastes like apple juice. A little bit interesting here, it says product of Spain. Somebody might be lying. Now that I've finished my IKEA meal, I ate half of it. I have so much food I'm gonna be eating today, so I'm just gonna give this to somebody. Overall, pretty solid for a furniture store to have an on-site cafe and make food. I mean, it's much better than you'd expect, but I'd probably give it somewhere in like 7 range, maybe like a 7.1. I think that's a fair rating of it. Definitely recommend the cod and the meatballs. Probably could skip the sides, but it is very cool in here, super nice. I mean, this place is awesome. Look how massive it is. There's like playgrounds and everything in here. So IKEA is like the Disney World of furniture. They have like a soccer pit in here. A lot of different toys and like sections of this place. So I guess this is for kids to play while their parents shop for furniture or eat food at the cafe. And there's like a bunch of like different puzzles on the wall and stuff. So I'm gonna get the chocolate cake here. This is what everybody recommend getting. So it gets 3 layers, chocolate, maybe some mousse in between, and then more chocolate on the bottom. I think Sweden is known for its chocolate. Could be wrong about that. I think we're just getting cake this time around because we already had the food and everything. So.
Crafted by most?
It was great. Yeah, it was wonderful.
What about the cod?
I'd say the cod was my favorite. The cod was great.
Try the plant-based most?
No, is that something new that you have? Oh, thank you. Okay, let's try it. I think I do like that better than actually the normal one. Wow, that was good.
My favorite.
Thank you, Stacy. Got a free sample from Stacy. Shout out to Stacy. Now we're gonna try the chocolate cake. She said it's not her favorite, but I think it looks good. So here we have the chocolate cake that everybody talks about. This is apparently the second best thing on the entire IKEA menu. 3-4 layers in this bad boy. I think their dessert might be better than their actual food. Maybe I'm just a sucker with a sweet tooth, but this is a good chocolate cake. It was $5.85, which is pretty steep for a dessert. But then again, everything's kind of more expensive nowadays anyways, so I think it's in line with what you'd expect. In total, the entire meal was $21. I was able to get 4 meatballs, cod, entire side platter with rice, mashed potatoes, some jelly, and a chocolate cake, and an apple juice as well. So 20 bucks, I mean, I figure it's what you'd expect when you have dessert and an entree. So shout out to IKEA. Pretty good food overall, better than expected for sure. All right, so good job IKEA. On to the next location. So right now we're in the New York City Subway, and I kid you not, the New York City Subway actually has a restaurant, and it is a Michelin star Korean restaurant called Noksu. As you'll see back there, there's a black door just randomly in the middle of the subway, and I have a reservation there. There's actually a door, and there's a 6-digit code that they send to you 10 minutes before your reservation, and then you could literally eat in the New York City Subway. So I'm in Herald Square, which is a super popular area, but beyond that door, it's gonna look nothing like what it looks like in here right now. All right, so here is the pin code. Can't tell you what it is. All right, and we're in. All right, we're inside now. It's kind of crazy how this is actually in the New York City Subway. All right, so we are here now. Really nice service. He tucked me into the table, which I haven't had since I was like 6. It is a chef's counter, 15-seat, Michelin star Korean experience. I think there's something like 15 small dishes that we're going to eat. And again, right out there is the Subway. This is crazy that New York City actually has a restaurant in arguably one of the dirtiest places on earth, the Subway. So I'm excited. We're gonna have all these courses and we're gonna see ultimately if it's worth it. It was quite expensive. They have a lot of different wine options as well. So I will be pairing it with wine to make the full experience worth it. So yeah, we're gonna be ordering that. We were able to get some like moist towelettes, which was nice. I always appreciate that. And the chefs look ready to go. The kitchen looks insane, looks pretty pristine, clean. And there's about 3 or 4 chefs that are working on every single dish. And it's a really cool operation to kind of see right in front of you. And again, we are in the Subway. All right, first course. Sardines, very good. Typically not the biggest fan of sardines, but when it's dressed up like this, very solid. So underneath this pistachio cream is broccoli rabe, and then there's also fish here. So let's do a little bit of a mix up here. Let's try it. Wow, I think every dish is gonna be good, but good pistachio cream is just great on the palate. All right, let's give her a try. I love it. Next up is a squid dish. So we have squid ink plus an artichoke sauce accompanied by a squid wrapped in a fish head, and that's what it ends up looking like. Give us a little taste. Yep. I'm realizing now everything's seafood too. I don't know if that's like the vibe of the place, but really good. So this dish is only available for 2 weeks in May. It's when these animals come up to shore. I think it's a squid, maybe an octopus, and then they bioluminesce the entire ocean, and I guess they scoop them all up, and so it's served. It's such a rarity that you have 2 out of 52 weeks is the only time you could eat this. And then it's served over veal tartare. Interesting pairing. Give them a try. Wow, interesting pairing. I like it a lot. I hope it doesn't fall apart. I'm not good with this stuff. It fell apart. Wow, very good. Time to try the next fish dish. Wow, that's fire. That's good. Time for the lamb now. So the first official meat dish of the night. Lamb with a sausage with some mushrooms with sticky rice stuffed within it. Love me a baby lamb. If you're a baby lamb, watch out. I'm eating you. So this is pre-dessert. Before dessert, let's give it a try. Like a custard ice cream plus ice mixture. Very inoffensive, very good on the palate, solid. Japanese custard, hazelnut, and like some mochi ball. Very good. Shiitake mushroom macaroon. And it tastes like that. Not bad, not my favorite so far, but it's good. And just like that, we finished at Noksu. So now we're going back into the New York City Subway, just through this door and we get back to reality. So just finished up eating at Noksu. Really great food, great service, 9.5 out of 10 experience overall, really enjoyed it. As you can see, we are back in the New York City Subway now, and that door is still there, which is crazy that there's an actual Michelin star restaurant there. So if you ever find yourself on the 34th Street Subway, might as well stop in and get yourself a really good 9-course fixed menu Korean meal at Noksu. That was way better than expected. I knew it was gonna be good because it was expensive, but it was so weird. Into a Subway and then you end up having a really great meal. Fooled me. Very good. All right, so right now we are outside a bank. It is Capital One, and they actually have a cafe inside of it, so you're able to look at all the different things. We're gonna order some tea, some croissants, some stuff like that. We're gonna see ultimately if it's worth it. It's really nice in here. Kind of reminds me of a Starbucks, like a Starbucks Reserve, a really nice Starbucks. We just spoke with some of the employees, super chill. They have their own stuff that they make and they serve. So we're gonna go ahead and order some coffee, maybe like a croissant or some other baked goods that they have. So let's go ahead and do this. I'm very optimistic. Apparently they're the only bank that also serves food and has a cafe attached. I feel like at a coffee shop, I should be getting a pastry. So I'm going to get a croissant, a coffee, and an iced tea. That's very like cafe-esque, right? Hi.
Right now.
Oh, no pastries? Do you have any food?
Yeah.
Do you guys have like avocado toast still? Okay. No egg. So yeah, I'll do an avocado toast, and then can I do a black iced tea and then a honey lavender latte? Got my iced tea pretty quickly. That took like 10 seconds. They have their own cup, Capital One Cafe. Let's give it a first sip here. It's good. It's good. It's what I'd expect. Really solid, cold. I love this. This is my favorite sipper when they have this thing right here. Okay, so it features Verve coffee. So I think actually they make the pastries, but then maybe the coffee's made by a company that they collabed with. That would be my guess. This place is massive though. So this thing is a full-fledged bank. So you can go to some tellers back there. They have ATMs right here. So you have to take out money so you can buy your coffee. You could do it all in one place. So I have food, I have coffee, all Capital One supplied. We also have the honey lavender latte here. Not a huge latte guy, but this does look good. It's got a little art on it as well. A little taste test here. I like the honey in the latte. I don't know if that's a big thing, but I like that. All right, here's the big reveal. Ooh, I didn't catch the total price. I think it was around like $23, which is kind of steep. But then again, they're a bank. So if anyone were to overcharge you, it would be a bank. So Capital One, this is their avocado toast here. So let's try this. It's full. I don't know what's on it. Maybe like some arugula, tomatoes, avocado, of course, and then some rye bread maybe. It looks darker. Let's give it a bite. You're also able to get it with egg. I chose no egg because we're about to head to another spot. Pretty good. Avocado toast usually doesn't do anything for me. This is super hearty. Like I felt like if I ate this entire thing, I'd be good for about 5 hours. So Capital One Cafe, really solid avocado toast. Like the iced tea, the latte was solid too. They know what they're doing. Who would have thought your bank had good food there? Only Capital One, not an ad. The next place that should not serve food but does is one of the biggest retailers, and it is Nordstrom. So Nordstrom has its own cafe called the Nordstrom Cafe that we'll be going into right here. Now, if you've never been to a Nordstrom is basically a higher end luxury retailer store in which they carry a bunch of different brands. But on the very top floor, as I mentioned, they actually serve food. So let's try it out. Let's see if it's better than IKEA. Yeah, let's go inside. How are they gonna serve food here? So I believe it's on the top floor. So the way that Nordstrom is divided, since it's a department store, there's 3 different levels, one being men's, one being women's, and then one being miscellaneous stuff. And I think it's there. Pretty sure it's on the top floor, which would be hype. Great views, great food. Let's do it. Ooh, I'm excited. We're almost there. We're at this escalator and we will be seeing Nordstrom's restaurant. Where is it? Okay, I think it's on the bottom, wrong floor. All right, so we're heading to the bottom floor now, and we're gonna see the restaurant, hopefully. Oh, I see it. Okay, so the Nordstrom restaurant, I think it used to be called Nordstrom Cafe. Now it's called Basile. So here's Basile. This is Nordstrom's restaurant. All right, so we're at the Nordstrom Cafe now, Basile. We just ordered some drinks, and we're going to try the food. They have a lot of options on here. It's like a bistro. They have salad, pizza, sandwiches, and a bunch of different entrees. I'm gonna look up the most popular thing and then order it and give it a try. So I think it only makes sense to get Nordstrom's burger. So that's their signature burger. Made in Nordstrom. It's lettuce, tomato, red onion, sharp white cheddar cheese, garlic aioli on an artisan bun, and it is $20. So I'm gonna try it, and I expect this to be a high-grade burger because Nordstrom is a high-end store. So let's see if it's 1 for 1. There's actually some insane items on this menu. So they have a 6-ounce filet mignon. They have bolognese and meatballs. They even have halibut and chips. So they have a lot of different premium items that you would not expect a Nordstrom to have. So can I please get a Nordstrom burger? Cooked, medium, please.
French fries or salad?
I'll do French fries. Thank you. So the Nordstrom burger arrived. Pretty big, honestly. Looks good. What you'd expect, artisan bun. I have the patty here, which is pretty thick with the melted cheddar. And then I have my truffle fries here with this really nice garlic aioli. So I'm going to take a bite and we're gonna see if Nordstrom makes a good burger. Okay, I'm gonna try the fries. It's solid. It's solid. It's not great, but I think it's what you'd expect. They also sell their own like Dijon balsamic vinaigrette from Nordstrom. And then they have their own tomato soup. They have their own cookbook as well. Our Kitchen to Your Table. So the Nordstrom's Cafe actually has their own products they sell. So just finished eating at Basile. I would say overall, it wasn't like the greatest burger I've ever had, but it was serviceable, especially for a Nordstrom Cafe. Shout out to Janet, the server. Very nice. Yeah, they were pretty cool in there. So people were great. Food was all right. Kind of what you'd expect, I guess, from like a Nordstrom retail department store restaurant. They also ended up giving us this chocolate at the end. So Nordstrom's chocolate. Oh, it's like a mint. Nothing against Nordstrom's chocolate, but I thought it was gonna be straight chocolate. It was like one of those peppermint patties, which I think is disgusting. It's like toothpaste plus chocolate.
All right, guys, that's it from me. Honestly, pleasantly surprised with all these experiences. They turned out a lot better than I initially expected, so shout out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more content, make sure to click here, click here. Otherwise, subscribe on your way out, and I will see you next time. Peace.